Hello there, and welcome to Pink Milk, your Star Wars podcast for us superfans.
And those of us who are forced to listen to them.
Today is someday, and someday we're talking Stormtroopers and time jumping in that galaxy far, far away. Get ready, because it's time to drink up.
Drink up.
O-M-G.
Gina.
No, not Gina. She's on the list.
Oh, you're off the list.
No, I hope she can get off the list. Right now, she's on the list. And we are not talking about her. Maybe in a few minutes.
I'm curious what list it is.
It's not a good one. It's the naughty list.
I'm telling Santa.
Hello, my name is Brian, your host, and with me, as always, is my better half, and your better host, Thomas.
Hello, hello, hello.
I am so overwhelmed. I am intimidated, and we probably have, 15 seconds of audio going right now?
Probably.
It's been about an hour.
Easy.
Maybe more.
We're just not used to doing it by ourselves anymore.
We have had so many guests for so long. I don't know how just to be in a couplehood anymore. Maybe I'm a throuple. Could you be?
I don't know. Maybe we just always need a special guest star.
I have to say, I thank you to everyone because our listenership has gone up a lot, like 20%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm also a little intimidated. We've got some great reviews on iTunes. People have been saying some very, very, very nice things on Twitter. And now I am overwhelmed and intimidated. So watch this podcast crash and burn under the weight of pressure.
It won't happen. But thank you, everybody who has been listening.
Yes, no, thank you. And what I will do, every time I'm feeling blue, I'll just go over to our Instagram where we have some very cute listeners.
Awesome.
It is like the gay stereotypes are all there. Very handsome men. Many of them are shirtless. Some of them in underwear that reveals more than what some people would. I'm all here for it. It's fine. I get to look at Star Wars and cute boys now. It's good.
Sounds like you got a great life.
I really do. How many times have you visited the Instagram page, Thomas?
Many times. My fingers hurt because I keep pressing the app, so I have to rest it now.
So active. Do you know what you press when you like something on the Instagram, Thomas?
Yeah, a heart, Brian.
Oh,
Hello.
Good job. Well, since we're on the subject of social media, Thomas.
Yes, Brian. Well, let me tell you about a pitch-perfect blend of intelligence. And let me get my glasses, too. So, here we go. What we're going to do here is we're going to go back. No, oh, wait, that's another show. We're going to talk about somebody who left us something nice on this Instagram that I allegedly have never been to, but all of a sudden now have all the information for.
But that information was from Apple Podcasts.
It's like the morning show. I'm reading my copy. It's going up on the teleprompter right now. Wait.
So we got a new computer here in the house, and with that new purchase of a very expensive computer came a free year of Apple TV Plus with their 2 shows that they have on there. But one of those 2 shows was Newscast, the morning show with Elle Woods and the Rachel.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon.
It was very good, but Tom is now taking podcasting on a whole serious level.
Well, I had these demands. I was waiting in the green room, but I didn't get what I'd asked for. And when I entered the studio, I thought that the sound check had been done, but I guess it hadn't been.
Not successfully.
I'm playing with you.
No, real quick before we read the not Instagram
copy. It's called copy.
It's called copy. No, we really have gone up in a lot of listenership, so we appreciate it. Make sure you are following us on all of our socials at Serving Pink Milk, both on Instagram and Twitter. We are probably more active on Twitter than we are Instagram, but I am trying to do more Instagram as well. And a really important thing, which Tom is about to read to you, is please visit us at Apple Podcasts. Please take a few minutes out of your day and go and give us a 5-star review and leave us a written review like the one Tom's about to read. Now, how was that for professional?
That was really good. I even got the finger. Not that finger, but the finger, the go-ahead finger. Anyway, pitch perfect blend of intelligence. Brian and Tom are awesome. Such an enjoyable show with a pitch perfect blend of intelligence. Even though it says intelligence, so they might not be talking about me. Discussion, great banter, and fun vibes. Incredible production value as well. I underlined that one because Brian feels good.
I really do.
Love this pod. If you're looking for a solid Star Wars pod, or really just a great pod in general, you need this in your playlist.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
That was awesome. And yes, then I read that. I feel very good because we have done everything on the show. We do the music. We do the graphic design. We do it all. It is 1,000% representative of Pink Milk. And now I'm very intimidated because these are starting to come through, which is wonderful. I'm very appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you.
But now I feel the pressure. But you know how I've fixed that pressure, Thomas?
You rise above.
Rise above. If you start following us on Twitter and Instagram, on Fridays, we now have Pink Milk times the mixtape.
Mixtape.
We have 2 volumes, Thomas. Join the Pink Milk Friday dance party.
They're really awesome, actually.
That's a hashtag. We're going to get it trending on Twitter.
One thing I have to say, my husband loves music. You are a musie, as I always called you.
Yes, and if any of our listeners are unaware, I am a gigantic queen. I'm a big homo. I am a gay dude. Therefore, I have great taste in music.
At 5'4".
At 5'4". But in heels, I'm 5'5".
Yeah, we haven't seen those things, God. Yeah, no, Brian really is great. He loves music, so definitely check out the mixtape.
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
It's going to be fun. Join the Pink Milk Friday dance party.
Get on the train.
Ride that choo-choo. The choo-choo train. Ooh, ooh. Come on, baby. Ride that train. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, I just couldn't think of any words.
All right,
I didn't want to repeat the ones you said.
We also have an email, Thomas. We got an email
we have an email? Should I read that too?
No.
Oh. Did I not too well?
This email is from our friend Eric on Twitter. And he also has a podcast, The Living Force, and you should listen to it because you don't like to read books, and I don't like to read books, so we should go listen to that podcast.
I love books, especially if my kids are listening.
Just not Star Wars books. All right. Hey, fellas. This email serves as Brian's official hall pass to purchase the Ahsoka Hot Toys figure. There is a new figure. Hot Toys. Tom Berry does not know what Hot Toys are. They're very detailed, very rad toys.
Whoa, Eric. That's not his hall pass to buy any more toys. Have you seen his office?
We're going to put a pin in that because we were somewhere this weekend that we saw some toys that I got nothing on. So this email serves as Brian's official hall pass to purchase the Ahsoka Hot Toys figure. Is it too expensive? Probably. Is it absolutely necessary? Maybe not. Should it happen anyway? Absolutely. Please refer to this email when the receipt comes through for said purchase. May the Force be with you, Eric.
Oh, Eric.
This toy is only $250.
Well, I'll tell you what we could do. We could sell all this stuff, and we still might have to chip in and get it.
It's really cool.
Seriously, like every week something new arrives in the mail. The kids get very excited. They think it's for them. No, it's Dad's what?
As Jack calls it. Oh, is that one of your man-child toys?
Exactly.
I did just get a 10-inch Mandalorian with a very shiny chrome head.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty rad.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm very excited. But yeah, no, we've... so thank you, everyone. I think we've had more retweets. I don't know. Something's happening, and I very much appreciate it.
Well, thank you to everybody but Eric.
So, Tom has always made fun of me, I'm sure, on air, about how many toys I have, which is really not that many compared to probably some. And for Labor Day, we went to a barbecue where this person has an entire office, floor to ceiling.
People, I am speechless. I have never seen so many. I've never seen so many. I'm going to leave it at that. They were hanging from the ceiling. Now, albeit very well done.
It was
I'm
really
impressed.
cool.
But I have never in my life seen so many. Why? Who needs all that?
A lot of people. I would say there was probably, 30 ships hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah, and they were really awesome.
They were very
truly,
cool.
that was awesome.
I'm not lying. This dude probably had 300-400 action figures lined up on shelves. There was troop building, Stormtroopers. It was very rad.
But not just lined up, standing up in a row, in rows upon rows upon rows. You know how difficult it is to get those things to stand up?
I do.
I mean, I'm still scratching my head going, why? But it is a really impressive collection.
Yeah, I think Jack said something like, I thought you liked Star Wars. Apparently not.
Yeah. It was impressive.
It was really cool. I was in there for quite a while. It was mostly 2000s, probably from Attack of the No, he had some Phantom Menace forward.
He had actually a white Darth Vader.
Yet,
I knew nothing about it.
Listeners, anyone know what this white Darth Vader 3 3/4 inch figure is like a reference to or where it came from? I don't know, but I have to say he looked pretty cool, all like white.
Of course, he was a super fan, so I was embarrassed to even ask. I'm like, oh no, I don't, want him to think.
Well,
I'm just a what am I called again?
Casual at best.
Thanks, Laura.
Speaking of Alice and Laura of Force Toast Pod, we at the end of the show, please stick around for Trivs. Because we have someone else who sent us some questions to challenge my super fandomness, and I'm sure I'm going to fail epically and become the embarrassment of the show.
And I will be your trivia host.
I think it's called the Trivia Master.
No, I like that even better. I will be your trivia master.
Well, before we get to trivia, Thomas, we have some news to discuss.
Oh, yeah. Don't trivia me.
Oh my gosh, we really should. Watching he does better than I do. That would be.
Why don't you throw one at me? Come
embarrassing. What forest moon did the Ewoks live on in Return of the Jedi? Forest moon of
Endor.
Boom! Ding ding
Boom.
ding 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 ding. Good job.
Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble because that was loud, wasn't it? Sorry.
Hey, don't blame me if you get a fender bender because you got scared because Tom yelled into the microphone. You can blame him. So, Thomas, we have news.
Talk to me.
The Mandalorian Season 2, October 30th.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's a good time to plug. Next week's, we're going to go weekly. Starting from this, we're back to weekly for the foreseeable future because we are going to start a roundtable, and we will be doing a roundtable with a bunch of queer people to rewatch The Mandalorian, which I think is a very queer-coded show.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea.
You all should have just seen Tom's face when I said queer because he still does not like that word.
Like gay.
He's big old gay.
You gay.
Okay, Margaret's mom.
Yeah.
Why do you got to be so gay?
He's so gay. So big and gay.
Thank you, Margaret Cho. This is not Star Wars related. I went and saw her. This was 15 years ago.
Don't tell that story.
The Parsimmons. Just YouTube Margaret Cho Parsimon diet. Holiday. Celebrate. Oh my God. I'm going to shit right now.
No, you did not. You did not. You did. You did.
It's the funniest thing. Margaret Cho Parsimmons diet.
Couldn't
Maybe
we have
I'll
just
I'll
left
tweet
it
out.
at go check it out.
The fun of happy.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have Mandalorian coming up on October 30th, and you brought up Gina Carano, and Gina Carano is in the midst of a Twitter battlefield right now. First, earlier this week, late last week, at some point I saw something where she doesn't necessarily believe that the pandemic is real, is what the tweet alluded to. She thinks people need to get back to work and go to church, and the masks, and there was some comment she made in quotes like alluding to the pandemic wasn't real, which is not cool, I guess. I don't know how we feel about these things necessarily, and I'm sure I'm going to get under attack now for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if an actor has the obligation to, like, we can tweet whatever we want, but maybe an actor does. But I also understand she has like almost 400,000 followers, so it does seem kind of reckless. People do look up to her. She's also, there are accusations from Twitter that she is transphobic, which honestly is very important to this show in particular, and it's something that we need to take seriously and comment on. So we will be talking about that next week with a panel of people, hopefully, if people are open and willing to share their thoughts on it, because it's an important thing to discuss, and it is something that I don't think Cara Dune would be anti-trans, because badasses in real life take a stand against those who are being oppressed, and that honestly, that's what she would have done. That's what she's doing in the show. It's unfortunate that the actress isn't taking lead from the character she's portraying. So let's hope she does. I'm one who believes in people being able to do better, so I hope Gina Carano takes everything going on and does better. With that said, there has actually been a GoFundMe set up by some amazing people on Twitter, and I don't want to say their name just in case they don't want us to, but we have retweeted it, and you can find it there and follow that person, because we need to say thank you. And the GoFundMe page is set up for the Transgender Law Center at Trans Law Center on Twitter. Find that GoFundMe, support. They do a lot of outreach for trans youth and community outreach, and their organization will do good with any money that we can send them. So we here at Pink Milk will definitely be contributing to the GoFundMe. We will stand by all of our LGBTQ plus people, and our show is for you. And there will always be a open mic here for any of you who feel the need to share your place and find a welcoming set of ears and a really wonderful group of listeners who are very supportive and passionate and compassionate. Go out and help, because there are people there who need it, who are oftentimes ignored, and it is wrong, and we will not stand for it. And I really, really hope for you, Gina, that, not that you're listening, but I hope you do better, and I hope you get better. Because clearly, regardless how you feel, you have affected a lot of people, and that's not all right. So please, listeners, go follow the show notes, click the link to GoFundMe, do what you can. We could all use it, and the Star Wars community could use it. And thank you very much to those of you who set up this GoFundMe. We are in full support, and we've got you if you need any other help. Okay, well, sorry, I had to hit the pause button after that little bit, but I do think it's important. I know we don't talk like that a lot on this show, but when the time is right, we need to.
I agree.
So let's get back to how we
let's bring that mood back up, people.
Drink up.
Drink up.
So, speaking of drinking up, the podcast and YouTube universe was drinking up some Daisy Ridley, and a comment that she made earlier this week on the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
What did she do?
So, is Jimmy Kimmel like the Tonight Show, or is it just the Jimmy Kimmel Show? I don't really know.
Just the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
So I guess he's had all these celebrities, because I know I saw your Olivia Pope on there one day doing something, right? So Josh Gad, who's the little snowman from Frozen, for years, like, he and Daisy Ridley had like a really good rapport anyways, where he was always joking around about trying to get Star Wars info dirt out of her on social media. It was really funny. But now that she's done, I guess this was the first interview post The Rise of Skywalker, that she had done, and he asked her about the parentage situation or something. I watched this a few days ago. I don't remember the total specifics, but he asked basically if it was always planned, because there's so much controversy about her being a Palpatine.
Right.
And she had mentioned that during the Force Awakens that there was talk of her being related to Obi-Wan somehow. And then she was nobody, which is what they said in The Last Jedi. And then when J.J. Abrams came back to do The Rise of Skywalker, that he had mentioned, you're going to be a Palpatine. And she's like, okay, cool. And then it turned, maybe not, maybe we won't. So then there was hesitation, and she said while we were filming, it kept changing. And it sent Twitter and YouTube ablaze of more of the same old stuff that we've been hearing for 3 years of Disney doesn't have a plan. This is proof they don't have a plan. Even the actors da. So I'm curious, as you, which I've mentioned several times, I'm very jealous because you don't know about any of these things going on. You're just a casual fan at best, and you get to go enjoy the movie without all this. Does that kind of stuff matter to you?
No. Any other questions?
I'm curious.
No. I mean, why is it going to matter to me? I don't understand why. I mean, who was she going to be then? Was she going to be somebody, or was she always going to be nobody?
Well, no, that's what they were saying. At one point in time, maybe she was going to be related to Obi-Wan, and then they were really going to make her a no one, and then the Palpatine came at some point. Right. I guess I feel like...
Well, let me retake back what I just said. Does it matter to me? Well, yeah, kind of would have changed the whole story if she wasn't related to Palpatine. They built the entire movie based on Palpatine, so that would have mattered.
That's the thing. It sounds the way the trilogy unfolded. The last movie made her all about a Palpatine, but the trilogy didn't. That was the third act of a 3-act play. Now all of a sudden it didn't. I still feel like it could have been there. I thought that for a long time anyways. I don't like the way it was revealed in The Rise of Skywalker.
It was random.
Like all of a sudden there he is at the beginning. Like there was no, if you decided you were going to bring him in, I feel like they had a full act of building a mystery of who this person was going to be, and then drop it in for the second act and then the climax later. Something, it could have worked better for me. But, I think back to the original trilogy when Luke and Leia were kissing, because Leia was not going to be a Skywalker until Return of the Jedi. Originally, there was going to be that trilogy, and it was going to be revealed that there was another Skywalker, and that was going to be episodes 7, 8, and 9 were going to be about Luke finding this new Skywalker. But George Lucas started adopting children and didn't want to make them anymore. And so he, in order to tie up the story, made Leia a Skywalker. And I just wonder how we would have been...
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. That was kind of like an abridged version of,
wow.
of the thing. But I'm like... That is also the creative process. I don't want it to be an excuse, because I really was like this. There's no way Disney doesn't have a plan, and they didn't spend that much. I was on that hill, and I don't think they had a plan now. And part of me wants to be on Team Lucasfilm and say they're trying to be artistic in our tour and keep that rebel spirit that George Lucas had. And I can almost stand by that. I think had The Rise of Skywalker been executed better, no one would have a problem with it. Mm-hmm. The Rise of Skywalker was not executed well. That's what the problem is, not the lack of... That is the creative process.
When you relay it the way you relayed the story, it sounds as if though there wasn't a plan. Oh, yeah, wow, it's consistently not had plans, meaning Star Wars. Yeah, Luke and Leia kissed. Oh, and now the brother and sister, no plan.
Yep.
Who's the father? Palpatine. But the truth of the matter is, he's a fairly big actor, so they would have had to have coordinated that way in advance, and he was really...
Possibly.
He was in many points of the story.
Possibly.
So...
I like it. I thought the idea that he was the ultimate villain brought forth the ultimate hero that really ended the Skywalker bloodline and ended the saga was related to him, the one who started it, and now someone ended it, I think is really beautiful. It was just not executed well.
I think that the only way we'll ever really appreciate how it ended is what comes next. So if nothing ever comes next with regards to this story, and yes, it's done, wink, wink, you know.
It's been done so many times.
You know, but I think that you may appreciate it kind of like episode 1. We didn't really appreciate that because we didn't know where that came from because we left off at episode 7? 6, okay.
Yeah, which is what we're going to be talking about today with time jumping, because the idea of jumping stories all over time, maybe it's been done before, but it really is a really actually important part of the Star Wars storytelling experience now, because we get so many different parts of the story, and we know how some things finish, but we didn't know how they started, and we know how things get left, and then sometimes it's years before it's told again, which is, I think, so important to Star Wars. Like, we had to wait 15 years between Return of the Jedi and Episode 1. It was 10 years between The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker. We're not going to have that time anymore now that it's in Disney's hands and The Mandalorian is very successful. We will have other television shows. And it seems and that's cool, because today's society with streaming and the way things work, we don't want to wait that long anymore. So I do think there are parts of the Star Wars storytelling that I think at one point in time were very important to Star Wars storytelling, that I think today's audiences don't want that anymore.
You know, I think that's very well said. I do think that our generation-ish is more accustomed to waiting for things the way we were raised. We had to wait for the TV show to come on the week after. We had to wait for the season to come back. You know, our kids today do not know that at all. And they are, what do you mean we can't just turn on the TV and because we're in a hotel and they don't have Apple TV, you know? What do you mean we can't get that right away? I think that generation is absolutely not going to be able to put up with
and Star Wars. Yeah, and Star Wars needs to adapt to that, because that's the future. You know, I think about Lost, which is one of my favorite television series of all time. You loved it too. We weren't together at the start of it, but it was still on when we first got together.
There when it ended.
But you know, part of that show's storytelling experience was the shared experience of watching Lost week to week and the wait in between. I'm not sure if that show would work the same way, have never seen it on a streaming service without it being current. It might not work. I have watched that show a lot, but I know the whole story now. But part of it was the excitement. Same with Game of Thrones. That show really worked with this, well, what do you think's going on, and people talking. But we missed that hype train because we didn't watch Game of Thrones when it was actually airing until that last season, which
and
never
then
saw.
It was painful to watch because we actually had to wait once a week or however it is when they went off.
Yep.
That was hard. That was really hard.
So I think I just find it interesting how Star Wars in the 80s, the original trilogy that is the heart of the saga, would survive and hold up being told today. I wonder if it would be what it is. I don't know. But I thought it was interesting. But I don't know if I care either.
Well, thank you for sharing.
You know, that's what I'm here for. I have an entire podcast to share my feelings and my opinions.
And some papers.
I've really stepped on my
trivia
game.
Questions?
No, that's coming later. Right now we're going to talk about... it's going to be our segue into Stormtroopers and maybe another soapbox moment, because we're going to talk about John Boyega.
Johnny boy.
It has been talked to death, rightly so and importantly so. There are people who will speak about it better than we do, but I do think it's important to at least bring it up. What did you think of the interview? We watched the interview with GQ.
You know, I thought it was really good. I was intrigued enough because I did not see John speak at the protest. Mm-hmm. I had heard you speak about it. I had heard maybe a little bit on the news, but I had not sat down and listened to it. So I thought the interview was good enough and prompted my interest enough to go back and listen to that. Yeah. And it was quite passionate, and quite honestly, it was really impressive. It made me stop and think. So
yeah, it was.
So both the interview and the protest speech made me stop and think.
It was the part that, to bring it really into Star Wars, that was John Boyega proved his voice and proved that he can use his platform to help move people forward. It was really, really wonderful, actually. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I was talking about when I was hopping on the Twitter train. I call it the Twitter train, and it's very easy to hop on when you know the car is full. But it's a really scary thing if you're going to hop on and you might be the only one on. You've got to wait for some passengers. It really makes you very vulnerable. And what he did was be very vulnerable when it was a spur-of-the-moment announcement. He didn't know if his career would be on the line or not, but that's why it mattered even more. He was willing to sacrifice himself for the whole.
I mean, that was impressive. He went out. He had a mask on. I saw the way he was dressed, so he looked like he, basically, hey, I'm going out. Yep. See, he even said it out loud. I had never been to a protest before, and he was not planning on speaking. So every single thing was not rehearsed. It came from the heart, which is impressive. I mean, it was really impressive.
100%.
And like I said, he was very passionate. So you couldn't not hear him when he was speaking.
Yeah, honestly, it was great. And a lot of us, I know Finn wasn't your favorite character in the sequel trilogy. I loved him in the first one, and that held me through a lot. But his story did get lost a little bit maybe as it went on. I'm really upset that in the marketing for The Force Awakens, he was the one wielding the lightsaber all the time. And I get that they were trying to make the Rey moment at the very end a surprise. You couldn't show her with the lightsaber. And so I was like, okay, that's weird that they did that. But okay. Then all of a sudden in The Rise of Skywalker, more execution problems with that movie. They all of a sudden made him Force sensitive, but they didn't actually tackle it. They just mentioned it. So it was almost like, hey, everybody, that's why we had him with the lightsaber, because we really did care, but we don't have time to do it now. Well, they should have never brought it up again. And I can feel his frustration with some of those things, and it's probably justified.
I want to say that I actually gained a new respect for him, so I might have to move him up on my list.
Wow.
Because when I saw him in the interview, I didn't see Finn at all. And then his interview led me to want to see the speech at the protest, and I didn't see Finn at all. So I thought to myself, wow, what a really great actor I'm not even seeing Finn in front of me as you were speaking. I was impressed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Awesome. That is what this entire world right now needs to learn to do, is let people grow, in my opinion. Sometimes it's very hard. This is a not important thing if you like or dislike a character in a movie, but you're willing to. I was thinking back to June when we were on the Blue Bantha Milk talking about found families, and Matt and Sean had mentioned at one point in time they felt that they were dicks, to be used their words, but they grew, and we need to learn to let people grow. Have a conversation. I am not one to. And it's not an easy thing to do. It certainly wasn't easy for John Boyega to hop up on that train when he may have been the only person in the car, at least on his level. But we have to let people move forward. But yeah, I don't know. I think over this past few months with this podcast, I think I myself have learned a new level of the importance of representation. We talk about it a lot on the show now, and having children, and we are now a mixed race family, it really has changed a lot of things, and I really appreciate actors like that. And a lot of us Star Wars fans wanted Finn. We love the idea of a former Stormtrooper rising up, and it's something we'll talk about in the second half of the show, and leading a rebellion. There's rumors of a Stormtrooper rebellion. And we didn't get it. We were upset. And then, sadly, the world is going through what it's going through right now. But to see the actor being the leader that he could have been on screen, it makes it really, on a Star Wars level that's not as important as the real world, obviously, but on a Star Wars level, very upsetting, because we didn't get that on screen. but we're now getting it in real life in a lot of ways, and it's been interesting. It's been interesting. And speaking of interesting, this has been a much heavier episode of Pink Milk than we normally do, but we're in an important part of the world, so we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back.
And we're back. Hey, thanks for coming back.
We're back.
Did I take your line, Brian?
You did, Thomas.
Well, yeah, I like to steal things from you.
You stole my heart.
And your youth. I took your youth, too. Oh, wait.
Yeah, screw you for that one.
Just kidding. You took mine. You took all of it.
So, Eric, we were still giggling about your email, so thank you. And
Only one of us was.
I will show you pictures of my Ahsoka.
And I will send you the bill.
So, speaking of Ahsoka, we were just speaking about John Boyega, both of which have had very close relationships with Stormtroopers. One was just clone troopers before they were Stormtroopers. But that brings us to our subject at hand, Stormtroopers and time jumping.
Time jumping.
So, Thomas.
Yes, Brian.
What do you think, before we get on our conversation here, what do you think of Stormtroopers in general? It's just kind of you see Stormtrooper, what comes to your mind?
Pretty much that. Oh, there's a Stormtrooper. Oh, there's another Stormtrooper. I didn't really think much of them or their changes until you showed me that video the other day.
The video he is speaking to is Stormtroopers Explained on Wired, and I'll have links in the show notes.
I have to say it was pretty cool.
Yeah, honestly, they're pretty rad. So, I mean, I remember the story.
Whoa. Can I tell you what I learned?
Sure, go ahead.
I learned one thing.
What did you learn?
Well, I learned a lot of things, but the original Stormtroopers were, and this is according to the historian for Star Wars, that girl, whoever she is, was supposed to represent bones and the human skeleton.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty awesome.
Pretty rad.
Yeah.
Till you get to the Sith Troopers, you get meaty in the red.
You know, it's very exciting as an average fan at best to learn something like this.
Well, speaking of those skeletons, you've shared the story a few times, but the first time you saw A New Hope in the movie theater and that first shot of the door being cut open and Stormtroopers jumping out with Vader quickly behind them. Do you remember what you thought back then?
I was scared. That's what I thought.
Vader or the troopers or
definitely Darth Vader. The troopers, I mean, they were white, so they didn't really, at first glance, their first impression was not fear. In time, the sheer multitude of them all.
Did you think they were robots too? Like many of us?
I did. Yeah, of course I did.
I think everybody thought they were robots. So, one of the things that I love about that opening shot, because it's our very first shot of the Empire is the Star Destroyer. This is if you watch it in release order. Our very first shot of the Empire is the Star Destroyer looming overhead, right? Mm-hmm. It's this big white ship cutting through the black of space. Then we see a white door being opened and white troopers followed by a menacing black figure, right? The Empire is very black and white. That was our in release order, and the first time Tom and I saw it, that's our introduction to the Empire. We learn as time goes on, and then especially if you go back to the prequels, much of the Empire is built on the ideology of the Sith, and we didn't know it yet, but the Empire is built on those things. And one of my favorite lines of all of Star Wars is Anakin when he says, "You're either with me or you're against me." And the Empire is very black and white in their ideology. So you have the black and the white as the very first introduction of the Empire, and I love it. I think it's
pretty cool.
Rad.
Very deep as well.
As deep as the vastness of space.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, I want to talk about time jumping because not literally, we're not going to the world between worlds because quite frankly, I still don't have that episode figured out. I don't really understand it. And it's going to require someone smarter than I to talk about it. Tom is sitting here at the other side of the table having absolutely no idea what I'm talking about because he never saw that episode.
Nope.
We will one day, though, because it's really awesome. I still want to do a watch of Clone Wars, the Mortis arc, and then a few episodes of Rebels with the world between worlds because it's about as weird as Star Wars gets, and I love it. But with time jumping has always been a part of Star Wars. You know, when Star Wars first came out, it was just Star Wars. Then the release order or whatever, but Chapter 4 came very early on, Episode 4. And so we automatically knew we were in the future from something. And the prequels were what came of that. Tom and I are both old enough to remember when the prequels came out. And I think we've mentioned it on this show before. I'm sure had been prequels before, but there had never been a prequel maybe on the level of Star Wars releasing prequels. And so during the release of the prequels, the episode titles were front and center, not the name of the movies. It was Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3. That's how they were marketed, to really like shove it down your throat of these came before Star Wars. People like me, it was never confusing. We understood it. People like Thomas, confused?
I'm sorry, what? Just kidding. Yeah. Of course I was confused.
It was, it never, we see a lot more of that nowadays than we used to. I think it would not probably confuse audiences the same way it did back then. But then we can fast forward that same confusion to the current era of Star Wars with Disney. We started in 2015 with the release of The Force Awakens. The next movie to come out was Rogue One. The Force Awakens takes place 30 years after Return of the Jedi. Rogue One takes place a few days before Episode 4. So it was already this gigantic time jump. Then we had The Last Jedi, which was the next day after the Force Awakens. The following movie was Solo, which was like 10 years before Rogue One. So Star Wars it jumps time all over the place. It has really become a part of the narrative of how you tell a Star Wars story, which is really exciting. But I do think it is very confusing for your average audience member, especially with the injection of Rogue One and Solo, because they didn't have episode titles put in front of them. So there's one clue that non-super fans can always look for to tell what era you're in. You know what that clue is?
The Stormtrooper.
The Stormtrooper, Thomas. The Stormtrooper.
Do I get a prize?
You do. You do. You get a big
I've
kiss.
gotten 2 questions right.
I'm impressed.
Maybe I should be doing Star Wars trivia.
Go.
Go what? Do you have a question
Start talking,
for me?
take the notes over. Start leading the show. Let's do it.
No. Was that a great segue?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, I do want to talk about... So we have the prequels. We have the Clone Troopers starting... Well, Episode 1, there was no Stormtroopers. There was no anything. It was the idea of those things coming. We had the droids. But Episode 2 came, and all of a sudden we get the introduction of the Clone Troopers, which are clones of Jango Fett. We found out they were ordered by Sci-Fi. There's the whole mystery surrounding what the Clone Troopers are. And to this day, the prequels get a lot of smack for having too much CGI. I've gone down this road many times on this podcast of you're welcome, because we wouldn't have anything we have now without that. But one of the things that I love what the Clone Troopers represent, and the fact that they are all CGI, is Palpatine stripped them of their humanity. They were not people. They were tools to be used for his purpose. So by having a bunch of CGI characters, they didn't exactly look human. You could tell there was something off, and it was a really visual part of the story. There's a quote that George Lucas, I'm not going to quote it, but I'm going to reference a thing that he'd said that a long time ago, and I couldn't find it on the interwebs, but he had said that Star Wars you should be able to turn the sound off and be able to tell the story. Like a 2-year-old should know what's going on without words. And I don't hear enough discourse about special effects and how they're used to tell the story, not just the effects or practical versus CGI, but why you use what you use and when you use it. And the prequels for the clones, it's used to control the narrative, and they were just not human enough because the person creating them, they weren't humans. And you don't see these stories necessarily on screen during the prequels, but once you start watching the Clone Wars, which you've now seen several episodes of, the clones really become their own people. And there's a lot of conversation, especially in the early first season, about the fact that they all look the same. Why are they being treated as different people? So it's really, really awesome. What do you think?
I agree with everything you said.
Well, do you remember at least the evolution?
Sorry, got a little lost there for a few minutes.
And so did our audience. They just drifted off. Hopefully they're not driving and just drove into the back of a car.
I thought I was at church for a minute.
I would go to church every Sunday if they talked about Star Wars.
Specifically the sermon. Sorry, Mom.
Anyways, I really do. I love the fact that they're just CGI characters. It really represents just a tool being used and a lack of humanity. So we see from episode 2, when they all look, they're really just the same, minus a couple of color variations for ranking, that we get to episode 3, and we see some of them actually have painted helmets and all that give them their own sense of purpose. And you learn a lot about that during the prequels, or during the Clone Wars, of, in animation, the clones became a big part of the story. I mean, Rex is one of the main characters of that show, so they had to differentiate them somehow anyways, just so we knew who was who in the audience. But it speaks to self-identity, and we in the queer culture know a lot about self-identity. I mean, there's some people, trans people, we've been speaking to earlier in the episode with regards to Gina, and the longer I sit on that, even especially after we've had that discussion, I'm just more upset with her, I think. And I had said earlier in this about, I guess a celebrity should have the right to say what they want to say, which I stand by, but they also need to deal with the repercussions of what they say and not just automatically block people. I don't know. It's
Gina.
Yeah. It's very disappointing. But a lot of us have lost our family. We've lost things. We didn't ever feel comfortable in our own skin given to us by other people, and we have to go seek out that identity. And it's something I think a lot of queer people relate to the clones during the Clone Wars for that very reason. There's a lot of self-discovery in them and looking past what the outside looks at them. To the general population, the clones are just clones. To the Sith, they were just tools. To the Jedi, most of them, they were just treated just as body bags, basically. And they had to identify themselves and discover who they were, because society told them they were one thing, just like a lot of us queer people, but we're not necessarily just what people are going to put on us, and we have to fight to find our own. And it's kind of a beautiful little thing there. But so between episodes 2 and 3, by episode 3, they look a little more like Stormtroopers. Do you remember that from the video we watched, Thomas?
I do.
Nothing else?
I answered the question. I do remember.
Anyways, so then we get to the original trilogy and we see the Stormtroopers that we see, but then we start seeing, different stormtroopers that have their different costumes that serve their different purpose for the vehicles they drive or ships they pilot or whatnot. And then that's that era of, if you see what we all quote unquote know as a stormtrooper, you know you're right around the original trilogy. Luke and Leia are somewhere off in that world, or they're about to. Darth Vader's in that world. Actually, let's put it that way. Darth Vader is in that world. If you see the clone troopers, Anakin's still in the world. Then we jump 30 years in the future, and we see the First Order troopers, which are still very reminiscent of the Stormtroopers, but they're really cleaned up and modern, and they look different. You see those people, Darth Vader's dead.
Interesting.
It's like a really easy marker, like immediate marker of where in the timeline you are. Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, or Darth Vader's dead. And the Skywalker saga, even right there in just the visual cues of the Stormtrooper, centers all around Darth Vader, as it's his saga. You really got to dig deep to find Darth Vader anywhere in the sequel trilogy, but he's kind of there. But I think that's a really amazing tool that is oftentimes overlooked. And like even in the sequel trilogy with the First Order, the First Order troopers are so clean and simple. Like they're simplified even more. And I love the idea that the First Order just idolizes what the Empire was. And they want to polish the Empire up and make them brand new and sparkly again. And so they took their stormtroopers and cleaned them up and got them down to the bare bones of what they were. And then we find out that it's Palpatine, who I think in the prequels, I think he kind of somehow in a backwards way maybe really thought he was bringing peace to the galaxy. In that line, in Mandalorian, remember the client, he's like talking about the good days of the Empire, and look, everywhere now is chaos. Like there were people who really believe that was the right thing. Clearly it's not. But I think by the Rise of Skywalker, I think Palpatine was just ticked off and was greedy for power and wanted to almost take back what was taken away from him. And so I love the Sith troopers, and they said they're, look like the muscle and the meat, but I look at it as like he's going to make the galaxy bleed now for what they did to him. And it's a really cool thing.
Now, I'm not sure which ones these were, but I really like the red ones. And as you know, the red came because it was some play on George's favorite color car. That's what the historian said. Yes. The hot rod red. But I like the guards that guarded Palpatine and had the long neck on them. Which ones were they?
Talking about from Return of the Jedi, when they had like the big capes. It was like their big robes. You couldn't see past the capes, but they had like a long red neck.
Yes.
Those are the Emperor's Royal Guards.
Oh, yes. The Royal Guard. Okay.
Yes. They were pretty rad.
They were pretty rad.
Gods leave us. Yeah, they were very awesome. They have a very big fan base. They're like the best of the best stormtroopers, and they work their way up to the ranks and then guard him.
You know what would be a cool movie? The eyes of all of Star Wars through a stormtrooper, and how you just said, hey, they came up, they're the best of the best, they came up in the ranks. Wouldn't that be cool to see it from their point of view? No, not a Finn, not that. We got a little glimpse, I got it, but coming up in the ranks and being born in that world, I'd like to see that.
Well, that is what's disappointing. We could have had that with Finn. I mean, that was what was really cool about him, is we could have seen someone who maybe wanted to leave the Empire. But, I mean, they even had opportunity right there when they were in, oh, God, I keep wanting to say Camino. It's not Camino. It's a Casino Planet with Rose. And he could have still not understood. They have DJ where, bad guys steal from the good guys steal from the bad guys. And they were saying there's no real sides. But Finn could have actually had more character there and said, I'm a stormtrooper. I've seen some of the things, the good things, quote unquote, that by then the First Order drilled into these. Remember, they were kidnapped as children. That's all the world they know. His worldview would have been shaped in some sort of way that there was benefit to that. And after the Force woke up inside of him, and he didn't pull that trigger, which is what I always think happened. The Force had awakened inside of him at that moment. and clarity came for the first time. And that's why he was all confused. There could have been real character there of what life from a Stormtrooper was like. And then by The Rise of Skywalker, we really could have gotten to know more Stormtroopers. They had that opportunity between him and Phasma in that movie. They edited that scene out where you saw him like calling Phasma out for what she did, which was lame. But we really could have had that story, because I agree with you 100%. I think that would be really awesome, actually. There are some spoof comics, Tags and Bank, I think it's called, 90s maybe, that they're just like background Imperial troopers who add commentary on everything that we know is going on. They're pretty funny, but like a non-serious or a non-comical version of that could be really, really cool, actually. Because I want a side story during the original trilogy. I think it would be awesome. And maybe telling it through a Stormtrooper. And then there's Ray Sloan, I think is her name. I'm not a big video game person, but she was like a Stormtrooper, I think, who rises up in the ranks from one of the video games. And I'm sure all the nerds in the interwebs are like, that's not who it is.
No, it would be cool. Somebody who's like the secretary to Darth Vader.
Yep.
Who has just commentary. Oh God, here he comes again. He always tells me to take this note, and he never reads them. And something crazy and ordinary. Okay. Maybe the mechanic of his ship, and he's complaining it's making a noise. Just something crazy. I think that would be pretty
we're gonna have to get Thomas into reading some of the Star Wars books, because in a certain point of view. In a certain point of view, you have that. I think there was an accountant.
Seriously?
Yeah, and it opened up with like an accountant, and his whole job was to like film, like get money distributed to the right parts of the Empire, to technical crew.
And that Darth Vader was always an overspender, buying new capes and more helmets, and just a big, running up that credit card. That'd be interesting.
Well, Anakin was pissed off at the Jedi, and they said no attachments. So by then he's like, bitches, you said no fucking no attachments?
Beep.
Beep. No attachments? I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to adorn myself.
I'm going to get a new ship every week. I'm going to have a 9-car ship garage.
I'm going to have all those pod racers that I could have been driving, because I was the only human that could.
And I'm living at the top of the ship. And I have a summer ship and multiple homes. I think it could be cool.
I love that the name of this episode is Stormtroopers and Time Jumping, and I think we spent the least amount of time talking about Stormtroopers and time jumping. But
welcome to our show.
Welcome to our show. If you want to continue the conversation, follow us on Twitter or Instagram at servingpinkmilk, or you listen to our new mixtapes released every Friday. We have 2 volumes. You can find those at servingpinkmilk.com or on Twitter at servingpinkmilk. Make sure you write us a 5-star review and give us a little written note there on Apple Podcasts. We've gotten some very nice ones. The one that you listened to earlier made me feel very, very good. If you enjoy this podcast, if you know that having an LGBTQ voice out there in the Star Wars fandom is important, make sure you head over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a written review. It really helps us in the searches, and thank you for your support. That is a really, really wonderful way to support us even more, and we appreciate you. And next week we start.
And coming up next, we're going to have some trivia, because Brian's ending the show.
Gosh,
and I'm over here all excited. I think what he was trying to do is get out of the trivia.
Yes, Eli, I'm trying. Thanks, Tom. I was trying, because now comes the embarrassment of the super fan. I'm going to bomb every one of these questions.
Good try, Brian.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Eli and Jacob.
Yes.
Here we go, though. I love you too, and I'm very excited for this. And please, no one out in the Twitterverse laugh at me. My husband will do plenty of it for you.
And don't laugh at me either, as I try to pronounce half this stuff. But we're probably going to take 2 or 3. Yes?
Hang on, one quick... Yes.
My call.
I want to do one thing for my love of Alice and Laura. Just say what I say. Trivs.
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 Okay, go.
Trivs. All right, number 1. Why were Lando Calrissian and Luke Skywalker unsuccessful in locating the dagger that would lead to the Wayfinder of Exegol?
Exegol.
Exegol.
Okay.
A, they never located the correct planet that it was on. B, they were called back from their search because of an attack on the New Republic. C, the previous owner of the dagger had died, and in turn left the dagger in a place that they could not find. D, the previous owner had destroyed the dagger. E, E, the previous owner had engaged them, wounded Lando with the dagger, and then ran away.
I love how I even need multiple choice on these, but C was the one where they died, right?
C, the owner of the dagger had died.
Yes. C.
Okay, C it is, Eli. Number 2. In what year did Darth Maul die? A, 2 ABY. B, 32 BBY. C, 10 BBY. D, 2 BBY. E, 10 ABY.
I'm going to go with 2 BBY.
2 BBY.
2 BBY.
Okay, record that. We're going to have Eli give us the correct answers, and we will announce them next week.
Yeah, put it all on Twitter. He's been, well, I don't ever know who I'm talking to, if I'm talking to Eli or Jacob, but they're both very excited. I love it, and they've been talking on Twitter, so.
Awesome.
Put it out there.
All right, number 3. How was Din Djarin convinced to take his helmet off despite the Mandalorian tradition?
Oh, I don't need
not to take it off.
This.
Whoa. A, he was not in front of a living being.
IG-11 was not real, therefore.
Just a droid, so technically no one saw.
Boom.
All right.
Thanks, IG-11, and your
Number 4.
thermal detonator of a heart.
When telling Anakin Skywalker the tragedy
of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Chancellor Sheev
Palpatine.
Palpatine also reveals his opinion of the moral of the tale. What is that moral? A, no one is invincible. B, all who gain power are afraid to lose it. C, everyone has a blind spot. D, freedom is a vice, not a virtue. E, the light rises, so does darkness.
No. Well, now maybe that was still Palpatine because Snoke said that, but I made Snoke. It doesn't really make sense, so I don't know if it was him or I don't know. Anyways, it's they're afraid to lose power. That's
what I was going to guess. Okay, mm-hmm. B. All right, here we go. I'm going to do a spin now, see if I can pick up another one.
Big money. $1.
I just want to make sure I can pronounce some of these things. All right, cool. Here we go. Why are Anakin Skywalker, Kit Fisto,
he's got the pearliest white teeth of all,
and Ahsoka Tano forced to call the Jedi High Council for help on Mon
Calamari?
Mon Calamari.
Calamari.
Yes. Mm-hmm. A, the Separatists brought technological reinforcements meant to overwhelm them. B, the Separatists brought droid trooper reinforcements meant to overwhelm them. C, the Republic had lost most of its clone troopers, and the Jedi were some of the only survivors. D, the Republic had lost most of its Jedi, and Fisto, Tano, and Skywalker were the only Jedi survivors. Oh, E. Sorry, there's an E. An earthquake had killed a lot of the Republic's troops.
I wonder if they should have renamed him Crisco Fisto.
I don't know. What's your answer?
Okay, that was a long... I haven't watched that in a while. I am thinking of the shark guy and his creepy swimming, pacing back and forth between the cell. I don't remember, so I'm going to have to say... Was it B, they brought a bunch of droids to overwhelm them?
Correct.
Okay.
Is that your final
that's
answer?
Gonna be my final answer.
B. Eli, B. Let's see. I'm going to do a spin again. Number 47. What famous
47 cents? I need $1, Tom. I need $1.
What famous ship from Star Wars Rebels television series appears on Exegol in Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of the Skywalker film?
Yeah, the Ghost.
Well, hey.
The Ghost. What
The Ghost.
Is it?
C.
There you go.
Ghost.
C. I would like to prove that I don't always need multiple choice. Take that, Laura from Force Toast.
Okay,
and I are next on the Schmodown.
I'm going to pick one more here. All right, here we go. Okay. The following three... Oh, no, we can't do that one because that's... Which of the following characters appear in Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels television series? A. Yoda. B. Ochi.
Wait, what? 3 characters?
Yeah. What? No. Which of the following characters appear in Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels? A. Yoda. B. Ochi of Bestoon. Okay. C.
That's who had the dagger.
Okay. Oh,
and Eli loves him some mochi. I think it's Eli, right? Or is it you, Jacob? I forget. I'm sorry.
I think it's Ochi of Beston. Yeah, right. I said that right. Okay, cool. Amelin Holdo.
Nope. I think it's Yoda.
Mon Mothma.
Mon Mothma. Oh, God. Oh, see, this is a trick question.
Seventh sister.
Because...
It's seventh sister. Isn't it? No? Not that I know who that is.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to say... C. Mon Mothma, because she showed up with oh my God. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Saw Gerrera.
And you're the super fan.
You know, because Yoda also shows up. It's a trick question because I believe Yoda showed up in Season 4. And my God, was that a weird looking Yoda. It did not work for me, that animation. C. Mon Mothma. Final answer. If no one was around in the early 2000s or the late 90s.
All right, Eli, it's up to you now. You need to let us know what those answers are, and I will announce them on next show.
Okay, but next show we are doing our Mandalorian rewatch with a queer roundtable. Tom, we've got our work cut out for us. There's like a big table.
We will announce it in the very beginning because we know that everybody will be dying to know the answer to these. Is Brian a super fan, or is he
All 2 listeners are going to be foaming at the mouth. No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eli and Jacob, for doing this. It's been a lot of fun. We've been talking about it for a hot minute. I'm very excited. I hope I did all right. I am feeling fairly confident.
You seemed confident.
Fairly.
I'm looking forward to the answers.
Yeah. That's it. Remember, next week is an important 4-part episode, start of a 4-part episode. I'm very excited about our Mandalorian rewatch with a queer roundtable. There has never been this many queer people talking about Star Wars at once. I'm sure of it. Maybe so. I don't know. I'm excited. So Tom's got his work cut out for him. Anyways, don't forget to follow us at Serving Pink Milk on Twitter and Instagram. Visit our website at servingpinkmilk.com, where you can now submit questions. So you can give us a question in Twitter, Instagram, or on the website at servingpinkmilk.com. And thank you. And until next week, bye.